This is a Versa-Loom tutorial, Part 3, Weaving on the Loom. In Part 1, we covered wrapping the warp bars. In Part 2, we covered warping the loom. In Part 3, we will show you how to weave on a loom and how to end and start threads. In Part 4, we will remove the beadwork from the loom and then square stitch the edge beads. In your work area, have your beads ready and position your loom so looming is comfortable for you. We will be weaving from the top down. Pass the needle under all 6 warp threads. Pick up 5 beads. Slide the beads all the way down the thread. Using your left index finger, position the beads between the warp threads and press the beads up towards your face. Insert the needle through all 5 beads, starting from the right. While inserting the needle through each bead, aim the needle tip toward the top of the bead. This is to keep the needle above the warp threads. If the needle is under the warp threads, the beads will not be locked into place. Check each row as you weave. Remove and correct as needed before continuing on. Pass the needle under all 6 warp threads. Pick up 5 beads. Slide the beads all the way down the thread. Using your left index finger, position the beads between the warp threads and press the beads up. Insert the needle through all 5 beads, starting from the right. Pull the excess thread through. And repeat all the way to the other side of the loom. Should you need more thread, then we've provided one method for ending and starting threads here. Leave enough old thread to weave through a few rows of beads in order to secure the thread. With your new thread, start 8 rows back. Insert needle left to right through all 5 beads. Pull most of the excess thread through. Make sure you leave a tail. From right to left, insert needle through all 5 beads on the next row. Gently pull the excess thread through. Pull just enough to hide the tail thread. Insert the needle left to right through all 5 beads on the next row. Pull the excess thread through. Repeat until the new thread is exiting the same bead as the old thread. With the new thread, continue weaving until you reach the other end of the loom. Periodically, run your fingers over the beads to nudge the rows together. Not too tight or your finished project will be rigid. Not too loose or your finished beadwork will be unstable. Just right and your finished beadwork will be free-flowing and stable. Add the last row of beads right next to the warp bar beads. To add another row or not, Nymo thread has stretch. If it seems you might be able to squeeze another row in, then don't. Once you remove the beadwork from the loom, the Nymo snaps back. Its stretch is gone, and your beadwork shrinks up. We haven't forgotten your old thread. Weave it in until it's secure and then cut. Many of the Versa-Loom patterns shown here are available at sovaenterprises.com and beadpatterns.com.